What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to G-Miles World Podcast. Today we're going to be taking a look at Week 15 Monday Night Football, and we're going to be talking about a few things, all right? The number one thing is that the Rams are terrible at football, all right? They suck, right? 4-10, last in their division. You know, it is what it is, right? The interesting thing about what I'm going to tell you is the Packers, if you're a Packer fan, hope is still there. Now, hope is dangerous because if you really think the Packers are going to, make the playoffs, I got a bridge that I'm selling. All right, they suck as well. Aaron Rodgers wasn't that much better than Baker Mayfield last night. And to be honest with you, it's the run game that really took off to really help the Packers. But we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the things that are going on and, the future of these teams. Now, I will tell you this. I'm very, very disappointed in the Rams overall. But you got to understand, they're injury-ridden. It's a really bad situation. I think it's one of the biggest lulls of a Super Bowl champion I can remember. I don't remember anybody coming back the next season and being like 4-10 and just really stinking up the joint like this after winning the Super Bowl, but I could be wrong. Maybe you guys can, pretty much help me out with that assessment. But, they can still make the playoffs, and they're multiple games below 500 at 6-8, right? But let's talk about Detroit at 7-7, and then Minnesota at 11-3. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the way that this is going, I really don't know. Like, it's a very, very difficult situation to kind of assess with the way that everything has been happening in the league. We got refs that are saying that, receivers are lined up in the right position, calling penalties. There's a lot going on. I don't want to make it out to be something that it's not, but realistically speaking, anything can happen. Green Bay can go anywhere and win just depending on what day it is and, if a ref bet the game. Like, bro, listen, I don't know exactly what's happening, all right? But a lot of the things that I've been picking, I've been getting straight dominated. Like, that Minnesota game, you know what should happen, bro? Like, seriously, Matty Ice should have to retire. It should be mandatory. Like, Roger Goodell should go to Matt Ryan and say, look, bro, you've done this twice. Get your stuff. And I'm not going to allow anybody to sign you. I just had to get that out there because I don't know how they allowed the Vikings to come back from down 33. Also, Jeff Saturday should be fired as an interim coach, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so look, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that are going on currently. All right, the temperature was 15 degrees, -9 Celsius, with a wind chill of 7 just before the opening kickoff. Very, very cold. We know about Lambeau Field. We know about all that stuff like that. That's pretty much fine, a fine situation. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty, right? The Packers 6-8 likely must win out, and plenty of help to earn a fourth straight postseason berth. Miami is 8-6 on Sunday. They got Minnesota, and then they got Detroit. All right, so listen up really, really quickly, right? The Vikings are not what anybody thinks they are. I know it seems harsh, but I said this before in the previous podcast. I don't know how they allow teams to dominate them like that. And even with them coming back and beating the Colts, it's not really saying much. You beat a guy that's the coach interim that played center for Peyton Manning. Like, he has no idea what he's doing in most cases. Like, dude, again, I don't put too much stock in that comeback win because they shouldn't have been getting beat down like that in the first place. All right? The Lions are scary, though. All right, the Lions. If you've bet the Lions this year, like if you've done any parlays or any kind of bets out there, the Lions have been really, really like up and down. I don't really know how it's going to work out, but I would like to see them make the playoffs because I do believe the Lions will beat somebody in a wild card. I really do believe that, like just really upset someone outrageously because they're playing with enormous confidence. Although we know they're not that good, they're playing with enormous confidence. And with that being said, I am very, very excited to see them if they can possibly make the postseason. The Vikings, not so much. I'm kind of over them right now, dude. And if they surprise me and they win, all right, cool. But it's something about them, bro. Like, it's like, dude, what are you guys really doing? They might end up having to play the Cowboys possibly. I got to look at where the scenarios are. And those two teams playing each other, I don't know who would win, to be honest. Because if Dakota Rain Prescott, dog, if that guy goes out there and plays like he just played against the Jags, the Vikings will win. My biggest issue, though, with the way that the Packers are currently playing is even with all of the assessments that I'm making about the Vikings and the other place, Chicago, everybody in their division, I think Aaron Rodgers has been a huge letdown, and a lot of that has to be put on the shoulders of Davante Adams leaving. You know what I'm saying? Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers, man, look, dude, I gotta tell you right now, they're like peaches and herb, bro. Like they went together so well, and that separation has really exposed Aaron Rodgers. You can see that Davante Adams is still doing this thing with the Raiders, but that's the biggest thing. Like if they had Davante Adams, it wouldn't be a problem to me. I'll just say, yeah, they're gonna win out. They got this, but I just don't see how it's gonna work out. It's possible, but again, Minnesota or the Lions are going to beat them. And if they don't, Miami will. So I don't know, bro. Like I'm like perplexed. It's just even looking at the way that it's going right now. But I just wanted to give you Packer fans my insight into the chances of you guys, actually making the playoffs. Now, like I said, AJ Dillon, he was the guy behind all of the success that happened. I got to be totally honest with the way that everybody, they pretty much looked at this game as a game that the Packers must win. And then you looked at Baker Mayfield, right? You saw what Baker Mayfield did the week before. Everybody thought he was going to be the miracle guy. He's just a guy, dude. Like, you got to understand, like, look, man, Baker Mayfield did something that was outrageous, but he did it against a trash team. All right, bro? Like, I don't even really care about what happened last week. What I'm saying is the future for that young man, somebody said to me the other day, what if he turns it around like Geno Smith? I'm like, Geno Smith got his jaw broke when he was at the Jets, right? To turn it around. Like, the dude got punched in his face. Like, it was wild. Like, he had to go through a lot. I don't know if that's going to be the same case here. I can't ultimately say if Baker Mayfield's going to have a huge turnaround, but watching him play yesterday, I threw up in my mouth a couple times. All right, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm just going to tell you the facts. Like, the dude throws the ball into the dirt better than, I guess, Jamarcus Russell. Like, that's the last time that I've seen someone throw the ball in the dirt that accurately. All right, so that's a compliment for me. But where could he end up? Would the Rams keep him? What are you going to do with Stafford? Would Stafford retire? He's injury prone. He got a Super Bowl ring. I don't know. Maybe that might work out. It could go either way. I just don't believe that, with the way that I've been watching him play, dude, I just don't know, bro. I just don't know how it's going to work out for the Rams going forward. I think for the most part, we may not see them in the playoffs for a long time. I don't know what's going to go on with Aaron Donald. He's also been, nicked with injuries and stuff like that. Maybe it was the right decision he should have made initially, is to just retire, to be totally honest. The way he's playing right now, he's totally garbage. So, look, dude, listen. Even when he did play, guys, he wasn't Aaron Donald, for the most part. Like the Aaron Donald that we know. So, it's just been a real off year. Cooper Kupp being hurt. It's just too much for the Rams. But just speaking on the future of him, I'm just going, talking Baker Mayfield. He has a lot to show in this offseason, is all I'm going to say. For all my Baker Mayfield fans out there that supports him. I would love to see him play well. When he was playing well for the Browns over that stretch, it was exciting to see. I just don't really visually, my brain can't process him being like that dude. And that's pretty much what it is. So ultimately, this was a game that was pure trash. And both these teams are horrible. But the Packers still have hope and the Rams suck. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to see you guys next week. Enjoy your holiday. Until next time. One love, y'all.